This video is sponsored by the Foggy Dew, Dublin's legendary pub, located beside the Central Bank and Temple Bar. Come in for great nights, pints and supporting metal. Shout out to our other sponsor, Helio Gas Detection. Hey everyone, this is Letty from the Smash and Skull Sessions. I'm joined by Niklas from EF. Niklas, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm enjoying a very, what do you call it, humid and rainy December evening in Gothenburg, Sweden.
Oh, you don't have snow yet?
We had snow for a couple of days, but now it's raining again.
Yeah, we're kind of the same. We're in the midst of a storm at the minute, so another storm for Ireland, great.
That's lovely. But there's no global warming, so don't be afraid.
To the listeners who maybe haven't heard of you before, could you introduce yourself and your role in the band?
Yeah, my name is Niklas, as you said previously, and my role is basically the drumming part, but I'm also kind of the manager, or what to say, that takes care of stuff to make sure stuff happens. Because when you're a bunch of old men in a group, there's too much stuff going on. So there needs to be one person that kind of makes the ship sail.
You're the captain of EF, so the manager and the drummer.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah.
Excellent. So how did the band start? How did EF start?
I mean, that's a very long story for way too many years ago, but I remember me and Thomas, that is still in the band, the guy with the kind of beautiful voice singing. We met, as many bands do. You meet in a bar, and you hear some guys talking about guitar pedals, and you just simply ask, "Hey guys, do you have a band?" And they say, "Yes, we do, but we have no drummer." And I happen to be the drummer, so that was a quite easy task. And I think we even the day, as soon as the day after, we met up in the practice room and started to practice together. And like, oh, this sounds pretty promising. Let's do it again next week. And here we are, 23 years later.
Your band is the same age as me. That's crazy.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What did you do 23 years ago?
23 years ago, I was an atom. I was nothing.
Sorry for that.
Ah, it's okay. I just missed out on a load of cool music, but I
Yeah,
digress.
yeah.
I see people mentioning, oh, this band came over 26 years ago and they're no longer together. And I'm like, damn it, I really like them.
Yeah, I mean, we're still together, and we're happy that, yeah, it's three of us that have kind of been with the band since the start, and that we have succeeded to stay together for this long is, I think that's a pretty fucking big achievement, to be honest.
That is, especially in this day and age where band members come and go easily. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of band members coming and going, of course, but it's that's the way of being a band. People find it interesting for a couple of years, and then they get something else to do. Maybe they start studying or get a new job, and they have to move. Or at a certain point of age, people started find some interesting in building families, and then they're gone for a couple of years. We even had one of them the forming member, Daniel. He moved to Amsterdam for a couple of years, and but now he's back in the band, and you can do it like that as well. You can take some couple of years off, and then you can come back.
Take a
We're
break, come
EF is
back to
always
it.
open, so you can always come back. Yeah, what do you feel like?
I like that. You celebrated the 20th anniversary of Give Me Beauty or Give Me Death. How was revisiting these songs 20 years later for the anniversary?
Oh man, that's really crazy because we the record had been sold out on vinyl for a couple of years, and the label wanted to reprint it, but we said no, we rather wait till its 20th anniversary and we try to do something nice out of it. And we thought it would be pretty easy to revisit the old songs, like, yeah, this will just take a couple of weeks to get it over with. We know the songs. I mean, some of the songs we have been playing for over 20 years as well, so they're still with us in the live sets. So, but as soon as you enter the studio and you start recording, it's like you start to think about the songs in a different way, and you start to like, oh, how was this part played? How did I do this sound? Which pedal did I use? Or so we kind of quickly decided to not try to copy the old songs too much. Like, just if you cannot remember, just try to do something else. Try to add something. I mean, our kind of music is quite open to just add stuff on it. And for example, Eric that plays guitar, he wasn't with us when we wrote the song. So for him, it was also kind of a challenge to find something to play that wasn't already there, because he wanted to put his style of guitar playing on the song. Yeah, exactly. So he had quite a hard time to figure something new out that wasn't already there, because it's easy that he just copy another guitar or something. And Kim, our bass player, who actually recorded the album as well, he used to listen to this album when he was like 16, 17 or something, and on the bus to school. So he had a total different input to the songs, because as an old fan, or what to say, he had a different approach to the songs, because he didn't want to make them sound worse. I mean, he wanted to embrace the legacy, but he also wanted to add something. And he and Danny wrote some really cool bass lines, which really took the song somewhere else, because the better people get at playing their instrument, the more fun thing you can do with your instrument, and you can just make something more groovy or more aggressive or whatever. But yeah, it was quite a ride to revisit these old tunes.
And did you have to do much with the drums, or did you kind of just copy what your muscle memory had?
I always record the drums first, and that makes I need to put some kind of steady beat on it. I cannot do too much experimentation, because they will fuck up for the other guys. I cannot come and say like, hey, I added this part. So you have to change all the things so I try to just make it tighter, I think, and maybe also make it a little bit more groovy where it's supposed to be groovy. There was one more ambient song where we tried to shake things up a little bit, to do a little bit more drony, or what to say. So yeah, but not. I don't want to just take it out there and see what happens. That's dangerous, I think.
Fair enough. And when we were organizing this interview and going for your discography, the title for it, even, I find it just a beautiful title. Give Me Beauty or Give Me Death. How did you come up with that title?
I mean, it's a pretty ridiculous thing, because I think it's a Refused quote. You know, the hardcore band Refused.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it is, but when we came up with it, I had the phrase "Bring me leaders or bring me death" in my back in the back of my head, which was from my Refused songs. And then I was like, yeah, maybe change some kind of the words to become more post-rockish. But I actually think they're singing "Give Me Beauty" or "Give Me Death" in one of their songs. I'm not really sure, but it's inspired at least from the good old band Refused. That's all been shaping our early careers in the hardcore scene. So
they've recently retired now as well. I think they came to Ireland on their retirement tour.
Yeah, their retirement tour had been going on forever, I think.
The same as any retirement tour.
It's like AC/DC or Kiss or whatever.
Yeah, and Slayer, who are back again. and
Yeah,
Megadeth's incoming retirement tour,
yeah,
which Dave says is going to last about 3 years. So
yeah. I mean, you have to do it everywhere.
yeah, I'm hoping to that they come over again because they only opened for Disturbed, and I wasn't really bothered to go see them just for an opening slot.
Yeah, I can guess.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they come back. Do you have a favorite memory from revisiting the record?
Um, I mean, so as I said, some of the songs we have been playing for a long time live. It's still one of my favorite albums of all the albums we recorded. So, but I think a favorite moment was actually to do the new song, which we call Noll, which is basically the figure zero, and because we built it from in the studio while having some time left over, we built it from an old outro from the original recording. So instead of just ending the song, we like used it as the intro of a new song, which kind of became a nice moment to put modern EF in the old what do you call it, the old box or old sphere or something. It's it's it fits very well, I think.
Kind of when the old becomes the new.
Exactly, kind of that thing.
Yeah, no. It's a beautiful record. Like I listened to obviously the 20th edition of it. I haven't gotten a chance to go back and compare it to the original one, but what I heard was, magnifique.
Yeah, thank you.
You're more than welcome. And if you could collaborate with any musician dead or alive, who would it be? And it doesn't have to be for EF.
Uh, well, EF is the only band I have, so I guess it will have to be for EF.
You could just do it by
uh,
yourself if you wanted to just
I,
collaborate with someone.
I would love to say from York. Uh, I mean, Radiohead's been a kind of a very important band for all indie musicians, I believe, and still are. And I mean, they're masterminds of what they're doing, and they seem to keep all doors open, which I think is very very interesting from old guys like them to just do whatever they want and don't give a fucking shit about what someone is thinking. So that would be very very nice collaboration, I think, with those crazy brains in post rock music.
Their
But
new tour
otherwise,
looks sorry, their new tour looks
yeah,
pretty good from their was it 6 year hiatus that they took?
I think even longer because I think I saw them on their last tour, which I think is maybe 8 years ago or something.
Was that for a moon shaped pool?
Exactly, yeah.
Very good.
And that was super good. But the images I've seen from this tour looks even better. Looks more of a spectacle than the previous.
Yeah, no, the way that the cage lifts up from them like just looks super cool and like the projectors on it and then it
Yeah,
rises up. It's definitely a spectacle.
show offs.
Budget.
Budget.
What's your favorite Radiohead song?
A boring answer would be like Idiotech, I think, from the Kid A album. Basically, because I've been listening to a lot of the Open Computer back then, and when they released Idiotech from Kid A, it was total like flip of my way of looking at music, because you were so used to the Britpop and the guitar-based music, and all bands try to copy that and make it their own. And then they released the electronic song as their first single, I think, from the new album. And I was like, how can I do this? And that song kind of stayed with me for so many years as like a go-to track, and which it still is. And but I could probably mention like 200 other good Radiohead songs, but if I just have to choose one, I would say Idiotech.
I'll let you rate my top two favorite ones because they're both joined to me. Now they're really boring. They're Paranoid Android and Fake Plastic Trees, which are probably like in top five of most Radiohead fans.
Classics.
I've always loved the video for Paranoid Android. I read on Wikipedia or something that they just gave the artist a song and he drew what he heard with the music, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That will be interesting people to work at something out with, because that's how you. We also try to think about music this, because we rarely rehearse. We usually meet very just with our goal, like this session we really need to make 3 songs or something, otherwise it will take 3 months till next time we meet. So you kind of put so much energy and what you call it, like fantasy or whatever into the music, and try to do it with five different people, and you kind of not write music, you try to draw it like a painting, but with your instruments. Probably a pretty classic post-rock line though, but it's difficult for us to just, we don't have a songwriter that comes up with a riff and comes to the practice room like, hey guys, can you try to play after me? And it's more like we sit down, have a couple of beers, and then like, what shall we do today? Shall we do shall we do it blue, or should we do green? Or should it go black? And yeah,
That's a
that's
really
kind of how we
interesting way of
started.
doing it. It's like a hangout session as well as songwriting, kind of planning.
I mean, we're stupid. It would be so much easier to just find a songwriter that that does this shit for us, so we just can have fun instead. Because it takes a lot of energy and a lot of fighting and a lot of I mean, a lot of beers to just get going, to let your mind free enough to just go with the flow.
What's your drink of choice?
Beer, I would say.
Well, what brand of beer?
Oh, two. I'm one of these IPA guys, so it should be hazy and fruity and expensive.
Fair enough. And as you mentioned, the band was formed in Gothenburg. What's your favorite thing about Gothenburg in general?
That's a quite a nice question, because I'm actually from up north of Sweden, very close to the Finnish border. And when you get old enough and you want to leave the small cities, you choose between Gothenburg and Stockholm. And people who want to do business, they go to Stockholm. And people who want to more working class or culture or music, for example, they prefer to go to Gothenburg, because it's a more uh, loose atmosphere here. It's more, uh, yeah, like working class cities probably are. It's not as posh. We don't have all the luxury stores. But we have shitloads of cool metal bands that even form their own music style, the Gothenburg sound, with In Flames, and yeah, you probably know it. And so if you want to meet people who are interesting and play music, you go to Gothenburg.
And if
But
you
it's
want to do
rainy and
taxes
it's
and
windy,
stuff,
so
and if you want to do taxes, you go to Stockholm.
yeah, if you want to do commercials or pay high rents for small apartments, you go to Stockholm. Yeah.
What is the music scene like in Gothenburg? I assume it's absolutely booming with, like, as you mentioned, the Gothenburg sound.
It feels like everyone you see in a bar plays an instrument in one or three bands. And it's pretty interesting, because every time you see the same people moving around, because everyone goes to kind of the same shows. And of course, we have a pop scene as well, or a commercial dance music scene or whatever. But it's the metal scene and the hardcore scene is coming really strong now again. All the people who played hardcore in the 90s, they have got their kids that are grown up, so now they can go back to playing hardcore again. And so I mean, it's there are quite a few places, quite a cool, good bars, and it's feels like it's pretty easy to get a show if you're just interested enough. But yeah,
Ireland,
the post rock scene is still not booming. It's never been, and it probably never will. But the few bands that have been around from Gothenburg has split up since years, and now basically the few ones that are left are like spread out over this big country, but it's pretty inactive.
so you guys are flying the flag for post rock in Sweden.
I think we're one of the few last what you call it, flag bearers,
Flag holders, yeah.
flag holders. Yeah.
Ireland has a booming hardcore scene. There's three main scenes: Cork, Dublin, and Belfast. The Dublin one I'm more part of than the other two. But you'll see the same faces, like as you said, the same faces in different bands. Some of them might play bass, and then they go to a different band and play guitar, or they'll go to another band and play drums. I think one guy I met, he was in 20 different bands.
Okay. Well, if you have time, so why not?
Well, he played instruments in all different 20. He played bass for some, guitar for some, and drums for some, and sang for one. It's like,
Yeah.
surprised you didn't bring a wrong instrument to a gig once. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. So it takes some commitment.
Yeah. I mean, when you're young, it's okay with commitment. But as I said, for us, it's pretty hard to just get a rehearsal together nowadays. But it's good. You put up so kind of a couple of goals in the future that you have to look forward to, and then you force yourself to meet up.
Fair enough. Do you have any favorite album releases of 2025 so far, or any that you're looking forward to in 2026? We're at the end of 2025, basically.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been a okay year. I mean, it feels like most bands came back after COVID, so like the last year of COVID felt like the album year. But now it feels like bands are slowly dropping off again and touring with their latest albums. But Mogwai released a really good album in the early 2025, I think, that I've been listening to a lot. I had a kind of some time off from Mogwai for a couple of years, but the last two albums are definitely brilliant. I almost have to check my list what I'm listening to because I have a hard time to recognize what band have released albums this year.
I mean, Sweden's Own Ghost had an album this year. I didn't really rate it that much.
No, it's too much Schlager for me.
Yeah, it's got a few good singles, but that's about it. I wonder if they'll win a Grammy this year.
Disappointed of, but
Do you still hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Good. Yeah. No, I'm not really sure what I've been listening to. I'm listening to a lot of old music as well,
What sort of
but
stuff?
I like revisiting like good old albums, like a little bit like with Refused, for example. Um, it's nice with these bands when they do something like this, like a last tour, then you start to like, oh, maybe I should listen to them again a little bit. The same thing with Radiohead now when they announced that they will do a European tour. I was like, oh, maybe I should revisit some of their old albums, uh, which is good because it's with the streaming possibilities. It's so easy that you always like chase for the next single. That you forget to listen to full albums and you forget to what the albums you actually have been listening to because there's always something new popping up and you get this like new release Friday and
Yeah.
you're like you need to swallow so much music, so sometimes it's just nice to go back to the roots and listen to music that really matters.
What I find myself doing a lot is I'll go see a band. So, for example, Deftones, I'm going to go see them next year. I won't
Great
listen
album.
to them.
Great album.
Yes, great album. For example, I won't listen to them a lot in the run up to the gig, but then I'll find myself after the gig, maybe a day or two, I'll just spam them, listen to them, like trying to be like, oh yeah, they played that. I love it when they played that song, and trying to hold on to it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's also a way. I'm having a problem as well when I see like the Bob Dylan movie with Timothée Chalamet. Oh, how you gonna say his name? Then I start to listen to like Bob Dylan, just because it's like it gets into your brain somehow and affects you.
Yeah. Did you like the movie?
I think it was a 4.
Out of 10 or a 5?
Out of 5, yeah.
Okay.
So I think it did good.
Are you going to see the Bruce Springsteen one as well? Because they came out around the same time.
I don't think so. I didn't like the trailer. I like Bruce Springsteen music more though, but I'm a little bit unsure about the whole storyline. Maybe when I can stream it.
Fair enough. And we're on to our last question. Do you have any advice for anyone to start a band in 2025?
I don't know if there's any good guidelines how to start a band. I think it's just I just don't want people to copy other bands too much. It's nice with these bands that pops up with some kind of idea of their own. You know, the band Geese, Gese, Geese. I don't know how to say it.
I've never heard of them.
I think they're from New York. They're playing like every festival next year. I think they're super hyped, but their music is not very easy accessible. I think it's you have the whole cool garage rock thing, like the Strokes vibe or whatever to call it, the whole post punk idea. But I like bands that just pops up out of nowhere and brings something new to the table. The post-rock scene can be also a little bit like that. It's a lot of the new bands that comes up, they just try to copy their old heroes, like Explosions in the Sky, for example, or Mogwai or whatever. And it's very easy for us that are old in the genre to hear that, which makes it totally uninteresting. The post-metal scene can also be like that. You hear the inspiration source is way too easy. And sometimes it can be good, but sometimes it's just, yeah. But I mean, that's maybe also part of being a young upcoming band to go through a couple of phases, and then you find your own niche.
That is so true. That is so true. I feel like even Turnover, for example, they're a band that just skyrocketed out of nowhere. Like they went through a couple of phases from punk to proper hardcore, and then to whatever their post-hardcore kind of genre is now. Like,
yeah, I mean, then the post-hardcore scene is very big right now. So I guess a lot of bands fall into that trap as well in that scene. Even if maybe the audience like the energy and whatever, but if you're going to attract other people that is not really into the scene, I think it's cool if you try to find something, a little thing that is your own.
Find your niche and don't follow kind of
Find
thing.
your niche, yeah, exactly. Boring advice, I think.
I've had worse, don't worry. Niklas, thank you so much for taking the time out your night to chat with me.
Yeah, and thank you for having me in your show.
Of course, no worries. And check out Give Me Beauty or Give Me Death.
Please do.